Is the tent back there good for you?
Can you lower it?
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
little hot.
Yes, ma'am.
Us big girls get hot really fast.
Just let me know if that's good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. So, are you from the city?
No, I'm from Dallas.
From Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Just down here for work?
Yes, sir.
Do you come to Houston often?
I was here about a month and a half ago, also for work.
Gotcha. So, do you strictly come down here for work, or do you like explore down here as well?
Work and when baseball's on, Astros.
Oh, you an Astros fan?
No, I'm a Rangers fan, but my husband's an Astro fan.
So y'all drive way from Dallas, or I'm assuming y'all fly.
Oh no, we'll drive.
Y'all drive 3 hours?
3 hours.
Wow. He must be a diehard Astros fan.
Cheaper than flying.
Well, yeah. It's just said, spending time in a car, longer than being on a plane.
Yeah, thank God he likes to drive.
While you just sleep.
Oh yeah, or I'm on the phone. iPad.
Gotcha. So how long you been living in Dallas?
For about 6 years, because we're originally from El Paso.
Oh, okay.
Way down there.
How you like living in Dallas compared to El Paso?
I love it.
Gotcha.
El Paso will always be home, but I will never go back.
What made y'all want to move to Dallas? Just like something new?
No, my job.
Oh, your job.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for work?
I'm a construction accountant.
Construction accountant?
Mm-hmm.
What is that like job description? Like just handling finances for the construction company?
It's for projects and cost management.
Oh, okay. How long you been doing that for?
A long, long time.
What's a long time?
I want to say my age.
You don't want to say your age?
20 plus years.
So over 2 decades.
Yes.
Is it something that you love to do? I'm assuming you've done it for 2 decades, so yes.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about it.
That's good.
I love my job, but I'm more passionate about organizational leadership. So it's something I'm in a position where I can put together high performing teams.
Okay.
So I do a little bit of both operations and accounting. So it's something that I really do enjoy.
So you like a team player kind of person?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to be if you like putting together teams and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, to manage people.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not the job. It's managing, understanding everybody's perspective, and knowing their like basements and balconies and how they're wired.
Right. So. Because some people, like some managers or whatever you want to call it, I mean, this is just like from a personal experience. Like when I first started like working jobs, like some managers, and I know it depends on like what field you're in, but like I think as a manager or as a person in an important role like that, you should know like your employees or your workers, because if you don't and you just treat them any kind of way or whatever, they might kind of resent you. And also like I don't know, to me I just think it leads to like a bad staff.
No, I honestly believe that it does. I think that in order to have a high performing team, you have to have the ability to empower them, right? Empower them to make decisions, to be able to have a growth mindset. Of course, also having boundaries, because if you don't have boundaries, then they're going to want to walk all over you. But when you kind of show them accountability and then give them the empowerment that they need, and develop them, it's by far, I have an amazing team. So
that's good.
I have one of the strongest teams in the organization, so I'm really happy about that.
And how long did it take you to build that team?
I've been with this organization for a little over a year and a half.
Okay.
So it took me about, I want to say, 6 months.
6 months.
But I used a lot of different tools and assessments to measure what their characteristic traits are. I'm very big on body language, so that tells me a lot. There's nonverbal cues are louder than actual words.
Got you. What will you say was the toughest thing you probably faced doing this kind of job?
Um, an overly confident, ambitious person.
Meaning,
Meaning a person that knows it all.
oh, okay.
Because every day we learn, no matter how educated you are, no matter how much schooling you've had, you learn something new every day. So when you have the mindset of not being a continuous learner, you start blocking yourself. So it's very important to always know that it doesn't matter what your role is in the organization, you can learn from that person. So I don't see myself, even though I'm in a high management position, I still learn from everybody every day, whether it's just about themselves, whether it's about a skill set. It's just embracing that learning, that continuous learning.
Yeah, because I agree with you. Because once you stop learning and you think you know it all, you're really hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, every day we learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to know it all.
So that's kind of how I lead my teams. Like, I'll learn from you and you learn from me. I have weaknesses too. So if I can utilize your strengths to empower my weaknesses, or if you can utilize my strengths to empower your weaknesses, then we'll we'll have a great team. That's just and not only that, but I believe we have to give the opportunity to everybody. I just believe in opportunity for all.
Gotcha. And if you wasn't doing this job as a construction accountant, what you think you'll be doing?
I don't know. I did an executive leadership course one time, and they asked me, what would you now tell your 18-year old self? And I said to myself, I'm like, damn, you're still alive. like, I grew up in the system, the projects, food stamps, and just lived lived a fast, hard life in my early years. I became a mom at 15 with 2 kids, and it was hard. And it just understanding how people can judge you and how people can have a perception of you just allowed me to be more open-minded about how you can influence others to better themselves. It can be done. I'm living a life that I never thought I'd had. One of my biggest accomplishments was I lived in El Paso. So we had like the company that I worked for back then was, they were doing a HUD ratification on all the housing projects. And one of my biggest accomplishments was walking the apartment that I grew up in, in the housing projects. When I walked in, I was like, wow. So there is a way out when you have that drive.
In your childhood, like, did you have both your parents? Like, how was that?
I lived with my grandma most of my life. Dad had drug issues.
Okay.
Mom did the best she could. It's just breaking those generational curses.
Absolutely. Did you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers? You and 2 brothers. So if it's something you can tell your 15-year-old self now, back when you discovered you was having your first child, what would it be?
Don't procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate. Just jump. Just do whatever.
It's okay to fail. You don't learn if you don't fail.
Failure leads to success.
Yes. And love yourself.
And love yourself. That's good. As a person in the position you're in now, I'm 25.
Mm-hmm.
And half of my audience is young people. I still got a lot of learning to do, even though I'm building myself up every day and learning new things and going after it, what's some advice you can give to a person like me and other people out there that's young like myself?
Follow your passion. Maintain those old school morals that nothing can replace. Respect, love for humanity, for one another, and respect um, everybody. You know, I think those are values that have been lost throughout the years, and just honestly, it's procrastination. Procrastination kills dreams because you're you're afraid to take that first leap, and just remember every choice has a consequence. And nowadays, sometimes those consequences don't have second chances. So be very mindful of what you're going to do before you do it.
Would you agree that tough times build strong people?
Absolutely.
Like growing up in like tough environments as you get older.
It depends. Not everybody has that mental strength to surpass a lot of things. But I can definitely say if you have a good support system, you can definitely, or a will, a reason to better yourself. I think that's what can help you get out of those situations. I know my drive was my daughters. Every day I fought for them.
How many kids do you have now?
5.
5 kids?
5 daughters.
What's your youngest?
My youngest is 20.
20. Do you think they look up to you in a way where like you'll look back and be like, I'm a proud parent and everything that I've done?
I think my 2 older daughters do that now, is they got the bad version of me.
Yes,
They're
ma'am.
not the 15-year-old version of me. They're actually what you call Irish twins.
Oh, okay.
One was born in January of 91. The other one was born in December of 91. So they currently, right now, they're the same age. So I had back to back daughters.
Back to back daughters.
Back to back kids. And it was hard at 15 years old. So they saw the good, the bad, the ugly version of me. And at one point, you have to face those hard conversations where you made mistakes. And I've had those conversations, but now I have the emotional intelligence to be able to have those conversations, take accountability, and remind them that the person I was then is not the person I am now.
I just want to thank you for the interview. I really appreciate the time that you spent to have a good conversation with me, and also being knowledgeable and giving good information, because young people like myself appreciate people like you, because it's not a lot of that no more. It's not really a lot of people giving good advice, or like some people have that information to themselves and never tell nobody. So that's why I kind of like doing this as well, because I get to share like positivity and growth in different parts of people's life, because not everybody come from like the best background and stuff like that. I grew up in lower middle class as well, and it was like I had 2 brothers, 5 sisters. We lived in a small house. I mean, it wasn't no like bad environment, but it's just like
There was challenging times.
yeah, challenging. Yes, absolutely. We lived in a house that didn't have like air central heat. So when it was cold, it was cold. When it was hot, it was hot. I mean, we had food on the table every day, but we just really didn't get to explore. Like we didn't, no, not really room for any opportunity where I stayed at the time. So that's what made me like, once I graduated high school, like I made in my mind like, hey, I'm gonna make something of myself. I'm gonna take on the entrepreneur journey. It took me a minute to do it because I had to build my own, get myself established.
Mm-hmm.
I started driving trucks, like 18 wheelers, when I was 19. And from 19 to 24, I just recently got out of it because I saved up enough, and I also started doing my side hustles, which was making faceless content for money. And I had enough money to where I can be more free and I didn't have to work for nobody. So
Yeah, there's nothing like working for yourself, right?
very true. You wake up when you want to wake up, go to bed when you want to go to bed. But when you have like you want to be something in life, like you always want to work. You always want to be doing something. So it's hard for me to just like be still. I'm always trying to grow and find out new ways to earn and learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that don't go away. I don't think it ever will go away, no matter how old I get or wherever level I get to. I don't know. It's just in me right now. I don't know if I'm just saying it just because I ain't where I want to be, or it's just in me. I don't know. It's tough to
I don't
judge it.
know. I think it's in you. I honestly believe that it's in you. I think you just have a spirit of I think you have a spirit of testing yourself to the limits, right? And in a good way, in the sense of just winning.
Yes, man.
And that's something that is not seen often, like, but I do want to say always stay humble,
Always stay humble.
because it is important to remember where you came from and not forget that those are the times that made you lead you to the road the the roads ahead of you, right? Like,
Yes, man.
where you want to be and how you want to get there.
Yes, man. And what was your name again?
Tammy.
Tammy. Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for like I said, for the valuable information and telling us about your story. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
This ride was fun.
What's your YouTube channel again?
My YouTube channel is TJackk, TJackk, and my TikTok is the same thing. I know you say you don't have TikTok, but I'm just letting you know so your daughters can look you up. Or what?
TJackk.
No, ma'am. TJackk.